When Halle Berry was named Esquire's sexiest woman alive, she said, "Sexiness is a state of mind." But what does this actually mean? Well, to me, sexiness equates to allure. And this means that if one desires to be alluring, the requirement is then to fixate a mental conditioning on self-reverence and self-containment. Many women express to me that they struggle with tapping into their feminine allure. So for the purpose of this video, we will be exploring how to hack into this state of mind using femininity. In Chinese philosophy, feminine energy represents yin, unlike masculine energy, which represents yang and rules over the sun, the external, science, and the mind. Yin is inherently receptive and dark and rules over the moon, the internal, spirituality, and the heart. Now, if we look at the definition of appeal, it means the power to interest or draw people in, which aligns with yin energy. So in order to heighten your allure, you must learn to become like the moon. There's many lessons that we can take from both what we know about the moon and what we don't know. Starting with number 1, control the tide. They often say that a calm woman is a dangerous woman. Women are usually labeled as being the emotional gender, so femininity is often associated with emotions. This is partially true, as yin energy is associated with the heart, fluids, and feeling, but it is also associated with the cold, the calm, and allowing. If we think of the moon, it controls the ocean's tides through its gravitational pull. It sits in its stillness, does what it needs to do within its purpose, and yet it commands the tides from a place of detachment. Now, tides and water are commonly associated with emotion, as water mirrors the fluid, ever-changing nature of human feelings. So it all ties together. Again, yin energy is associated with feeling, but it is also associated with calm. Now, applied to ourselves, when you do not master your emotional conditioning, your energy can become like a turbulent storm. And that reactive and all over the place energy is not only exhausting to others, but it's exhausting to yourself. When you master the calmer and cooler aspects of yin, you learn the power of being unmoved. Controlling your internal tide means you stop allowing external situations to dictate your internal peace. And this is where appeal becomes mastered. People cannot easily trigger you, read you, or disturb your frequency. Again, when you lack emotional control and intelligence, you create a draining environment. But when you learn to control your emotions, this has the opposite effect. All your energy is instead saved for yourself. No matter how beautiful you are, if you cannot control your emotions, this will have a negative impact on you. It will affect how people see you, how you interact with the world, how you feel about yourself, and also how your body operates. An angry person is an inflamed person. When you enter a state of chronic rage or irritability, this triggers an influx of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which eventually will wear down on your skin, dampen your energy, and it will age your physical body. This proves that you cannot disconnect the physical form from the mental sanctuary. If your emotional conditioning is rooted in hostility, it will always erode your outer radiance. Therefore, allure demands an internal calmness, so invest in improving your mental health and controlling your emotions. Number 2, reflect the light. The moon itself is a solid, rocky object which doesn't create light on its own, so the light we see from the moon is a reflection of the sun. This means that the moon is reflecting the energy of its environment. The beauty in this is that although the moon resides in a dark place, it's illuminated by a presence within its vicinity. When we apply this analogy to ourselves, it helps us to understand that external beauty alone is just like the cold, rocky surface of the moon, meaning it has no warmth on its own and it can only take you but so far. The art of having allure requires you to meticulously curate what is inside your own vicinity, allowing yourself to absorb and radiate the light of your passions and the energy of the environments you choose to inhabit. So in order to tap into this state of mind of appeal, you have to get to know yourself in order to know what feels sexy to you. You have to learn what you like, what looks good on you, what smells good to you, or which activities make you happy in order to generate magnetizing energy. Too often, we are plugged into social media and consequently, our brain is becoming submerged in regurgitated social views or fashion tastes, which essentially means we're losing our individual essence. Now, the world can tell you that Pilates is the in thing, and of course, it comes with its benefits, but you may not enjoy it, and there may be another activity that gives you the same benefits, but it's better suited to you. Through pursuing the passions you're drawn to, you can get to know yourself. Every woman should have a passion or a hobby that makes her feel like she's living and experiencing instead of merely existing. When people are happy, their energy is lighter. When you're content with life, this has an effect on your appearance and your allure. So if you aren't designing your life to be as beautiful as you see fit, then you are doing yourself an injustice. this. Everything must be customized to your taste and liking. For example, the perfume you wear will have an effect on your mind state because your olfactory receptors will associate certain smells with certain feelings. This is the essence of aromatherapy. This is why it's so important to have a signature fragrance, because you're wearing it to feel your best. You're most likely wearing this when you're being productive, and your brain will program that scent and associate it with high performance. This is a feel-good feeling. So whatever makes you feel good, from clothing to hobbies to perfume to furniture to music, curate your environment around your specific taste and let it generate a feel-good feeling for you and allow you to shine from the inside out. I have a few things for you. My Return to Her workshop is now available on Patreon, which will help you tap into your inner child in order to find your calling. It's linked in the description and the pinned comments down below. Now back to the video. Number 3, don't overstay your welcome. The moon operates in cycles. It shines in full illumination as a full moon, and then it gradually recedes into temporary hibernation, leaving the sky in complete darkness upon a new moon. The moon never stays full forever because nature understands that too much exposure dilutes its own magic. So when we apply this to the art of a law, you must learn the art of the exit. In a world that's obsessed with over-accessibility and constant connection, scarcity is luxury. Too often, out of a desire to be liked, we overextend ourselves. We can drag out conversations that have naturally run their course, or we make ourselves too available to people who haven't really earned that level of access. Overstaying your welcome can water down your energy. As we started with, one of the requirements to mastering appeal is self-containment. This not only means that the mind state must be self-generated, but also that you must become comfortable with leaving people wanting more. And this is a necessary practice in order to respect your own time and energy. When we talk about sexiness being a state of mind, we are talking about the psychology of value. When something is too accessible, it begins to lose value in the eyes of others. And you see this with how people treat their possessions. A $10 t-shirt is treated with more carelessness than the $400 designer t-shirt. Even if both are made in the same factory, it all comes down to a matter of perception. To the average person, the $10 t-shirt is replaceable, so they're more partial to getting it dirty or wearing it to bed. But the $400 one, no, they wouldn't dare. And why is that? Because maybe it was a gift, or maybe they treated themselves to it when they had some extra cash, making it less accessible to them, so they naturally hold it to a higher regard. You must see yourself as a gift, and you must treat yourself like a rare commodity. Regardless of who you are, your energy is one of one. So if it's watered down, the world loses out on experiencing your unique essence. Protect your energy by protecting your presence. Have fun and put your energy out there, but put a cap on it. So this means don't overextend yourself and don't be everywhere all the time. End the phone call while the conversation is still lively. Step away from the party before the energy dips. People will naturally associate you with the best parts of human interaction this way, thus creating a law. Further to this links in with the previous lesson, because as you step away from the crowd, you're returning to a place that's just as fun, or if not more fun, because you've curated a world of your own already. You're really getting a 2-for-1 with this lesson, as not only do you heighten your value, you also allow yourself time to rest, which will only increase your magnetism. Yin energy controls the motion of slow, so don't always be on go. Take your time, pull your energy back when necessary, and hone in on self-preservation. Number 4, don't let them know everything. Think about how much we actually know about the moon. Even with all our modern science, its exact origins still aren't fully confirmed. For centuries, humans have looked up at the moon and created myths and theories, but what we actually know about what it is and how it got there is limited. As you can see, mystery forces other people to use their imagination. Seduction and allure happen entirely inside the mind, so keeping parts of your life private forces people to think about you, wonder about you, and create their own theories, just like they do with the moon. Mystery has always been used by women. A woman never tells her age is an age-old social rule. The reasoning varies depending on who you ask. Some look at it as an old etiquette rule, while others see it as a response to a society that unfairly links a woman's worth to her youth and looks. But at its core, it's about data protection. Remember, yin represents the dark and the inward motion, so it's not meant to be fully exposed or picked apart under a microscope. microscope. When you're tapping into that feminine energy by keeping parts of yourself hidden and directed inward, you're honing in on the mystery of yin. And this can extend well into how you upkeep yourself as a woman. If you have that signature perfume, as we spoke about earlier, you're not going to want to share this with everyone, as this represents you. You were drawn to this scent because it awakens something within you. It brings a certain energy out of you, so it somewhat becomes sentimental. Therefore, you want to protect that feeling. Likewise, you're going to want to protect some of your beauty secrets and routines too. Now, the purpose of this isn't to be petty or standoffish with other women, but when you're finding yourself as a woman, you want to be your own woman. After all, if sexiness is a state of mind, this will and should look different on every woman. If everyone is the same or on the same trends, this will naturally water down the potency of a law. Further to this, think about the previous lesson. Being too available has its downsides, and psychology shows that being elusive or mysterious increases respect. So strive to be as mysterious as the moon. As you go through this video, you'll realize that everything is interconnected. You'll realize that a law is rooted in femininity, and femininity is rooted in the internal. The hobbies you choose, the parts of yourself you keep private, will build up your overall frequency. Now, I could easily tell you how to be sexy and only give you textbook answers, but if that doesn't fit into the woman you are, it won't work for you. You have to build on what makes you feel good and what makes you feel pretty. To be more feminine is to learn what femininity means across all philosophy, take what resonates with you and run with it. Above all, to lean into this state of mind is to know yourself, to hold yourself to a higher standard, and to generate self-worth by yourself and for yourself. Then external validation will come into play, but it should always be secondary. So when Halle Berry said sexiness is a state of mind, and she believes that she shares the title with every woman, she's right. If you made it this far into the video, I'd like to say thank you for being here. If you'd like to see more content like this, please be sure to subscribe. Please like, comment, share, and hype the video. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.